Welcome to Express Tribune Headlines. Clerics and mourners in Iraq offered their condolences at the Iranian embassy in Baghdad and the Iranian consulate in Basra on Monday after the Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi was killed in a helicopter crash in the mountains near the Azerbaijan border. The charred wreckage of the helicopter, which crashed on Sunday carrying Raisi, Foreign Minister Hossein Amir Abdullahian, and 6 other passengers and crew, was found early on Monday after an overnight search in blizzard conditions. Supreme Leader Khamenei, who holds ultimate power with the final say on foreign policy and Iran's nuclear program, said the first Vice President Mohammad Mokhbar would take over as interim president. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif on Monday declared a day of national mourning in the country for May 21st to pay respects to Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi and other dignitaries who died in a helicopter crash. A notification from the Cabinet Division issued today expressed fraternal solidarity with the government and people of Iran on the demise of President Raisi and other dignitaries. The national flag will fly at half-mast throughout the country on Tuesday. The ICC prosecutor Karim Khan has requested arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, along with 3 Hamas leaders, citing reasonable grounds for alleged war crimes during the ongoing Gaza conflict. The charges relate to actions resulting in significant civilian casualties and severe humanitarian issues in Gaza. Pre-trial judges will review the evidence to decide on issuing the warrants, although enforcement remains uncertain. Both Israeli and Palestinian leaders have rejected the allegations, emphasizing their rights to defend their populations while adhering to international law. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu criticized the ICC prosecutor's decision to seek arrest warrants against him and his Defense Minister Yoav Gallant as a moral outrage of historic proportions. In his response, Netanyahu likened this to morally equating historical figures in significant conflicts, asserting that the decision fuels global anti-Semitism. Israeli President Isaac Herzog also condemned the action as beyond outrageous, claiming it would empower terrorists worldwide. Islamabad High Court Justice Mohsen Akhtar Kayani criticized the Inter-Services Intelligence for their perceived involvement in forced abductions and their overall role, accusing them of running the country rather than adhering to legal standards. This came during a hearing about the disappearance of Kashmiri poet Ahmad Farhad Shah, whose wife had petitioned for his recovery after he went missing a week earlier. Despite the ISI's denial of having information about Shah's whereabouts, there is significant public outrage and calls for the government to secure Shah's return and hold accountable those responsible. Shah, known for his progressive views and criticism of the government, is represented by lawyers Iman Mazari and Hadi Ali Chatta. The court directed the Ministry of Defense to submit a detailed report and ordered further investigation into ISI's involvement. The Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf has labelled the NA-148 Multan by-elections as fraudulent, heavily criticising the Election Commission of Pakistan for tarnishing its own reputation. A PTI spokesperson thanked the constituents who supported their endorsed candidate, despite alleged significant legal and procedural violations. The party accused the elections of being rigged and called for an apology from Syed Yusuf Raza Gilani, the newly elected chairman of the upper house, for compromising the integrity of the vote. The PTI's grievances followed the victory of Pakistan People's Party's Syed Ali Qasim Gilani, the son of Yusuf Raza Gilani, over barrister Taimur Altaf. The Punjab Assembly passed the Punjab Defamation Bill 2024 amid strong opposition protests who demanded the bill be revised for perceived constitutional conflicts. Critics labelled the law draconian, fearing it would parallel the judicial system and infringe on free speech. Despite opposition, Punjab Advocate General Khalid Ishaq defended the bill as a measure to curb false news by making accusers provide evidence. Following this, the Assembly passed a resolution expressing condolences for President Raisi. The session concluded with journalists and the Punjab Assembly Press Gallery boycotting the proceedings, and the Human Rights Commission of Pakistan criticizing the bill for potentially violating judicial norms and freedoms of expression. Due to severe impending heat wave forecasted to hit Punjab and other parts of Pakistan, The government of Punjab has announced the closure of all public and private schools from May 25th to May 31st. The Meteorological Department has predicted extreme temperatures, dust storms, and heavy rains in northern areas, prompting this precautionary measure. While schools will be closed, scheduled examinations will proceed with necessary safety precautions. Amidst these closures, the Punjab Disaster Management Authority and Health Department have issued heatwave advisories and preparedness measures, urging the public to avoid unnecessary outdoor activities and take protective steps during the peak heat wave period. The Pakistan Stock Exchange experienced a decline, with the benchmark KSE 100 index dropping by 258.34 points to close at 75,084. This bearish trend was influenced by concerns over potential electricity price hikes, additional taxation, and the outcome of ongoing negotiations between the government and the IMF. The market's drop also reflected investor worries about geopolitical tensions following the death of Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi. Analysts noted that the market had rallied significantly prior to this correction and highlighted that upcoming monetary policies and the budget, along with IMF program terms, would be crucial for future trends. Concerns about inflationary measures in the upcoming budget and their impact on interest rates also contributed to the market's performance. During Yale University's graduation ceremony, hundreds of students staged a walkout in protest of the ongoing conflict in Gaza. The protesting graduates demanded a permanent ceasefire in Gaza, an end to U.S. military support for Israel, university divestment from companies profiting from the war, and amnesty for those disciplined for protesting. This protest at Yale is part of a larger wave of demonstrations at over 60 colleges and universities across the U.S., ignited by recent escalations in Gaza that have seen significant casualties. A team of 12 Chinese peacekeepers is set to depart for South Sudan on Wednesday, as announced by China's Ministry of Public Security. This marks the 10th deployment of a Chinese peacekeeping police unit to the United Nations mission in South Sudan. The deployment is the first since the easing of pandemic restrictions and reflects China's commitment to supporting and actively participating in UN peacekeeping efforts. China, a permanent member of the UN Security Council and the second largest contributor to peacekeeping operations, continues to demonstrate its role in global security through such initiatives. King Charles and Queen Camilla visited the Chelsea Flower Show at the Royal Hospital Chelsea in London, exploring a variety of innovative garden designs, including the No Adults Allowed Garden and the Bridgerton Garden. The RHS Chelsea Flower Show, held annually, features horticultural displays from around the world. This public appearance follows King Charles's return to royal duties after recovering from an unspecified form of cancer, diagnosed earlier this year following tests for an enlarged prostate. Eminem was present at his daughter Haley Jade Scott's wedding to Evan McClintock in Battle Creek, Michigan this past weekend. The intimate ceremony, attended by close friends and family, featured Eminem dancing with his daughter, who is a 28-year-old podcaster and social media influencer frequently mentioned in his music. Haley and Evan, together since 2016 and engaged since last February, received Eminem's full blessing for their marriage.